a happy hump day to you. Just making sure everything's going smooth, at least on Facebook's end. Everything's going great here. So, there we are. I hope this finds you well. I am Donna Kreis, and this is Wisdom Wednesday. I do this most every week, and last week I didn't because I was working to get myself back in alignment, finding my own balance, and just self-care. Self-care is so important. But I am back this week, and my spiritual team has not yet told me what we are going to be discussing today. So I am just going to have a conversation with cards with you. And basically, just sit here and talk and draw some cards and see what the universe, what spirit wants us to know this week. So before we get started, I do want to let you know that next month, beginning on February 8th, I am going to be doing a self-love challenge, a 21-day self-love challenge. And self-love, it is really just so important because the amount of love that we have for ourselves really determines how much love we can give to others. So basically, if we want to save the world, then the first step is to get right with ourselves and learn to nurture that little one inside that really just needs our love the most. So I will put the link for more information and to register in the comments below once I'm done here. But we're just checking in and seeing what Spirit wants us to know today. The Page of Air. Logical, honest, impulsive, curious. Sounds nothing like me. um, Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. So today we are within the full moon window. It's the first full moon for 2021. And my understanding is that it has the potential to be a pretty emotional one. So just make sure to ground. Make sure to ground. Make sure to stay as balanced as possible. It's always easy, especially during the full moon, because there's so much energy coming in that it's easy to get unbalanced. And so I feel like this is just asking us to be conscious, to be aware of our thoughts, to think, hello, Latanya, so good to see you. But to, while we're in this full moon window, to just be really conscious of our thoughts and be very conscious prior to speaking, be conscious of our words, because there's a thing that I remember, it was a meme, I believe, and it had kids crumple up a piece of paper, and then once they were done, it asked them to, or the teacher asked them to smooth out the piece of paper. and get it as smooth as possible. But the problem was that it couldn't be as smooth as it started out to be. And what the point was to be careful of our words, because when they come out, there's no way of taking them back once they're out. And our words really do have an impact on others. And once we crumple someone with those words, it's impossible for them to ever be the same. And so when we speak, we want to make sure that the words, we want to keep our boundaries. We want to make our feelings and desires known, but there's a way of doing that without crumpling another. And so before we speak, we need to be cognizant of our words and what impact they may have on someone else, especially here on social media. Social media, it's like people feel a detachment, and from the fact that there are other people on the other end of the line, basically. And so they feel free to say whatever they feel, no matter how it might hurt another. So all I feel is this card is definitely asking us to be aware, be cognizant of our thoughts, and be cognizant of the impact that they may have on someone else, whether they are written, typed, or spoken, before we say the words. So, what else does Spirit want us to know? Seven of Earth. Seeds. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. So I was looking through my email this morning and came across a post. I'm subscribed to Erin Bruce, who is the Seasonal Soul. She's the person behind the website Seasonal Soul. And she had a post or email this morning or recently that was a heads up that Imbolc is coming. Imbolc is the ancient Celtic celebration. Basically, it is the first stirrings of spring. Even if you have snow on the ground, it's February 2nd, I believe I said. February 2nd, even if you have snow on the ground, it's still bubbling under the surface. The first flowers of spring are getting ready to pop. And I can't remember what the flowers were, but they're the first ones that come up. I remember seeing them in purple in our front yard in New York when we lived in New York. And the name is really escaping me right now, but it popped up through the snow. And it was just awesome. But it shows us that spring is the new beginnings of life are stirring, and we as parts of nature are no different. We will have the stirrings of new life, new ideas percolating within us. And so we've been hibernating, and those things are going to be starting to pop up. So just seeds well planted, and just keep an eye out for the new growth that is about to pop. So And I will do one more. What else does Spirit want us to know? Knight of Fire, passionate, adventurous, self assured, restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. And I think that really just goes back to the page of air, where it's saying, think things through carefully. As the new stirrings of spring are upon us, think of what it is that you really, really want to nurture and grow this year. And set your intentions about those things. Because I've said this time and time again, we are creators, and it is better to create from conscious thought, from conscious awareness of intentional focus rather than unconscious. Because if we allow our thoughts to percolate on their own without awareness, without being cognizant of what's in there, Spirit only knows what we will create, because we create whether we are conscious of it or not. And so it's better to be conscious, to think of the things that we desire to create in our lives and be intentional about them, nurture them. This is, with it being the full moon, this is a great time to clear out, clear the way, anything old, any old thoughts, any physically clutter. Clear those things out and make room for the seeds that you want to plant come the new moon. The moon cycles are a phenomenal way to, a phenomenal energy to work with when manifesting. And so just be conscious. Be conscious of what you're creating. If you've been doing it unconsciously, if things are popping up in your life that you don't like, look at what might have brought them to you, what thoughts might have attracted these things to you. Now, I'm not saying that everything you've brought upon yourself, but there are lessons that pop up in our lives that we are open to because of where our thoughts, where our energy is placed. And a lot of it comes from spirit, from our own spirit wanting us to grow, to expand, and learn something. And sometimes those lessons aren't comfortable. A lot of times those lessons aren't comfortable. But generally, the universe will give us signs that it's coming. Um, it'll give us 3 signs. In my experience, it'll give us 3 signs, and then after that, it's what I have come to call a clue by four. It's an energetic 2x4 that just whacks you alongside the head. And that's when it's really uncomfortable. It's sometimes catastrophic, but we do get warnings before it comes. And if we catch those early, we can start changing things, start working with the energies, our thoughts, our creations, our manifestations, our intentions before the clue by four hits us. So, quite often, this will come in in physical form. In my own experience, it has been a case of getting run down, and then just getting more run down, and then finally it will come where I get sick and end up in bed for days on end. And my body warns me before it comes. Um, the past maybe 5 years or so, maybe a little longer than that, I get spinny. I get, my equilibrium gets off, and I actually feel sometimes as though the room is spinning. but it starts in a very light form. If I ignore it, if I don't take care of it, if I don't slow down, then it will put me up in bed to where the room is spinning even when I have my eyes closed. And in the past, the doctor has had to um, give me an anti-nausea shot, which ends up knocking me out for a day or more. So, so yeah, not fun, but the universe will warn us before the clue by four comes. So, one more. I'm feeling like one more. Four of fire. Contentment, peace and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. So I really feel like these cards that I just pulled a little bit ago are leading up to this one. Four of fire is the completion. When we become aware of our thoughts, when we become aware of what we're creating, when we consciously and intentionally plant the seeds of what we desire, we get the four of fire. So yes, I definitely needed to draw this one because now the story is complete. So I am Donna Kreis, and this is Wisdom Wednesday, and I hope you will join me again. Um, until next time, dear friend, may you be